All of this is a story of people getting ahead of themselves, thinking that euphoria is right around the corner. They're about to get rich quick, people loading up on leverage, then it becoming clear that it's going to take slightly longer than they anticipated, and then you get a price drop. So that 21% price drop was followed by a 91% price gain. Again, the gain exceeded the drop by a factor of 4.3. Then we got the run up after the ETFs really kicked in, up just under 74,000, which subsequently dropped on August 5th. That was a pretty big panic about, actually, that was the yen carry trade blew up. So that 33% drop was followed by a 121% gain. So the gain exceeded the drop by 3.7x. And that's when we ran up to 109,000, which was followed then by a 30% drop as people got all euphoric that, this Bitcoin strategic reserve was right around the corner. Maybe the US would buy $1 trillion of Bitcoin or some ridiculously large number, which was never going to happen the next day. And then when people realize, like all of these other times, whatever it is going to take longer than we thought. It's just going to take a little more time. If history repeats itself, I'm going to uncover this cell. If history repeats itself, so the average gain here, if I hide the decimal, is 4x. It's really interesting how consistent it is. Again, that first one was 3x, but if you hide the decimal and so it rounds to the nearest whole number, 4x, 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 4x. So it doesn't matter if you're dropping 20%, you get 4x benefit. The reward for a 20% drop is 4x ups, is 4 times that much percent gain. 4 times that much gain, 4 times that much gain, 4 times that much gain. So if we get this one, which this is a hypothetical, if we get a 4x gain, then that would get us to a price of 163,000 before the next price correction of greater than 20%. Now, is that going to happen? I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. We could end up with a massive worldwide recession and we get a big drawdown in the price of Bitcoin. Nobody knows. But if we get exactly the average here is 3.8, if that is followed by a 3.8x, which is the average of all of these, the average of all of those is 3.8, which is why it shows as 3.8. That's the average. If we get that, it would be a 30% price drop followed by 113% price gain. Again, these numbers are all hypothetical. But if we got the exact same thing and it repeated, that would be a gain up to 163,000 before another correction that is larger than 20%. But I have no idea. You have no idea. And who knows?